Fáilte Overstock, the Suantarí Íosa, where we look at the readings for tomorrow, the 30th of July in the year 2021. And the first reading is dealing with the three principal pilgrimage festivals of Jewish faith, and the importance it is that we celebrate our faith to enrich ourselves in our relationship with God, but also in our relationship with one another, and remind ourselves that we are part of a great community. We're not going to God on our own. So the first religious festival, of course, was Passover, and this was the celebration of really the birth of the people of Israel in the events of the Passover, God rescuing them. The second one was the festival of weeks, or Pentecost, which happened 50 days after Passover. And it was a celebration that God had given the people the gift of law, that he'd revealed himself to the people. If you are in a relationship with someone, say boyfriend and girlfriend, and you learn, for example, that your girlfriend likes a particular kind of chocolate or whatever, you delight in the news that and the awareness that you're able to bring joy to her heart. And this is how the people of Israel celebrate the law, that God revealed his heart to the people and said, you have the power to live in good relationship with me. And God is not capricious. The pagan gods would want something one day and not the next day. God is eternally faithful to his people, and he doesn't change his mind one day and another day. God gives us the law and teaches us a sense of justice and community, and God abides by his covenant with his people. And so the celebration of Pentecost was the celebration of the gift of the law. And in a very real sense, the Holy Spirit coming on Pentecost has completed the law, and the church is born on that. The last of the great religious festivals happened in the 7th month, for beginning with the Day of Atonement on the 10th day of the 7th month, and then you had the Festival of Weeks, which began on the 15th day of the 7th month, and that was known as Tabernacles, and it was associated with the wine harvest and the grape harvest. And again, for these three great festivals, people would go up to Jerusalem, meet their cousins, their relatives, their community. Really, for me as a young boy, something like a Munster final. That all of these people are heading up together, and there's this great sense of community and a great sense of belonging, and that you belong to a greater reality, a more wonderful reality, and that you live in the power of that. Now, I would find that today, that if I go for a drive and go up to Knock and celebrate in the community there in Knock, that you come away with a greater sense of what it is to be a Catholic. Not alone do you belong in your own parish and there intercede for your fellow parishioners every day that you pray, you're fulfilling this function within the people of God. But you go then to Knock and you have this greater sense of that you belong to a greater family. Or you go perhaps to Medjugorje or Fatima or one of these places, Rome or the Holy Land, and you have an awareness of that you belong to a greater story. And there's something very comforting about religious festivals. And the psalm tomorrow is "Ring out our joy to God our strength." It's Psalm 81. "For this is Israel's law, a command of the God of Jacob. He imposed it as rule on Joseph when he went out from the land of Egypt." That this is what the community is formed by law and by fidelity to God. And then tomorrow we have the story in the Gospel of the encounter of Jesus in his own village. Coming to his own town, Jesus taught the people in their synagogue in such a way that they were astonished and said, "Where did the man get this wisdom and these miraculous powers? This is the carpenter's son, surely? Is not his mother the woman called Mary, and his brethren, James and Joseph and Simon and Jude? His sisters too, are they not all here with us? So where did the man get it all?" And they would not accept him. But Jesus said to them, "A prophet is only despised in his own country and in his own house." And he did not work any miracles there because of their lack of faith. This is a crisis. One of the things that pilgrimages help us do is repair our faith. We cease to be very parochial, and that kind of frame of mind that rejects Jesus is a very narrow frame of mind, what we might call in the worst sense parochial or narrow or confined in its thinking, and they can't break out of their thinking. One of the great things that pilgrimages do for us is it helps us to break out of pilgrimage. I can remember one evening sitting at the Blue Cross in Medjugorje and just being entranced by watching all of the different people from all of the different nations who were Catholics and all of the different colours of people. It was the wonder of creation, and it broadens your sense of what it is to be a person of faith and to live in communion with this wonderful human family that is so diverse and extraordinary. The scriptures invite us to a greater life and not to be narrow-minded, but to grow in love of God and to grow in love of being faithful to God's law. I hope you have a lovely evening. Go to bed and wake in the morning with a deep desire to go and to celebrate the Eucharist in your community, for your parish community, for which we are responsible to pray, and for the world. Slán agus banach dé áibh go léir, agus go mana dí eile cóchtach sibh, ahar, mach agus spirit néamh. Amen. Let us go and rest. Slán agus banach dé áibh go léir.